Hello all, we can have a small discussion on the concept of small company. As the definition of small company has undergone a slight change because of amendment which was introduced in companies specification of definition detail rules 2014. So this happened in September 2022. So with that amendment there is a slight change in the definition of small company. So this session is basically on that part. Okay, so we all know that company can be classified into two types. One is private and another one is public. So this classification is solely on the basis of number of members in a company. Okay, so private company is obviously having certain advantages over the public company. Small company is a type of private company which will have to satisfy two conditions. Okay, so the first condition will be regarding to its investment, that is paid up capital, and the second condition will be related to its turnover in the preceding financial year. Okay, so a private company can be classified as small company based upon its paid up capital. Okay, and second condition, turnover in the preceding financial year. Okay, so from this point we have to understand that it is not a static class. That means it will not be a permanent class of company. If a company is incorporated as a private company and its turnover and paid up capital is satisfying the thresholds, or the thresholds will be mentioned in the act. Okay, if a private company is satisfying that thresholds, it will be classified as a small private company or small company simply. So it doesn't mean that its status of small company will be lifetime. It will be changing from period to period. That means if the paid up capital is crossing the criteria or threshold, or if their turnover is crossing the threshold or criteria, it will be lapsing or it will be stopping as a small company and it will be just classified as a private company. So at the time of incorporation of company, this is an extract of Spice Plus form. This is part A of Spice Plus form, which is related to reservation of name. So you can clearly see that at the time of reservation of name itself, there are two options. Type of company is there and class of company is there. In those two options, there is no specific point relating to small company, because the point I have already mentioned, small company status will not be on a permanent basis. It will be given or it will be enjoyed by the company on the basis of its paid up capital and turnover as of the preceding financial year. Okay, so it will be changing from period to period. Okay, so we'll move to the definition part of a small company. Small company is explained or defined in section 2 clause 85 of Companies Act 2013. So with the amendment which took place in September 2022, the threshold of paid up capital and turnover has undergone a slight change. Okay, so a private company whose paid up capital does not exceed rupee 4 crore, and second condition is that whose turnover does not exceed 40 crore. Okay, so if a private company is incorporated and their paid up capital is not exceeding 4 crore and their turnover as of the preceding or in the preceding financial year does not exceed 40 crore, that private company will be treated as a small company. Okay, so you might have noticed the things which I have written in or denoted in the red color. Okay, or such higher amount specified not exceeding 10 crore, and in turnover part such higher amount specified not exceeding 100 crore. So as of now the definition says that the threshold is 4 crore for paid up and 40 crore for turnover, but the government can increase the limit of paid up capital and increase the limit of turnover as and when they require. But that is having a limit. That means if government want to increase the limit of paid up capital on a day, that means if they want to increase the limit of paid up capital from 4 crore to 8 crore, that is possible by amending the rules. But they cannot go beyond that amendment, or they cannot go beyond 10 crore in that amendment. So the maximum amount they can amend is up to 10 CR. Okay, in the case of turnover, the maximum amendment in the turnover that can be made is by amending the rules to a maximum of rupee 100 CR. Okay, so beyond 100 CR it is not possible to amend as of now. Okay, so that is the part of definition. So it was earlier, the first time at the inception of Companies Act 2013, it was 50 lakh for paid up capital and 2 CR for turnover. In 2021, it again got amended. For the first time it got amended in 2021. The paid up capital was amended to, the limit of or threshold of paid up capital was amended to 2 CR and turnover was amended to 20 CR. Okay. In September 2022, the amendment was doubled, that is paid up was extended to 4 CR and turnover limit was extended to 40 CR. Okay, so these two are the keywords which are associated with a small company, that is the paid up capital threshold is 4 CR and turnover threshold is 40 CR. Okay, then there are certain companies which cannot be small company, that is if certain companies are within that threshold, a company, a private company which is having the paid up capital not exceeding 4 CR and its turnover is not exceeding 40 CR, certain companies cannot be treated as small company. So these companies are, first one is public company. So that is already clear from our discussion. We already told that only private company can be small company. Second is holding company, subsidiary company, section 8 company, company governed by any special act or provision. That means if these company, the category 2, holding, subsidiary, section 8 or any statutory corporation or company which is formed under any special act, even if their paid up does not exceed 4 CR and turnover does not exceed 40 CR, they will not be classified as small company. Okay, then the advantages of small company. Okay, we already discussed that private company is having certain advantages or privileges over the public company. Okay, small company is having additional advantages over the normal private company. So first one is there is no need to prepare cash flow statement in their financial statement. Number two, rotation of auditors. That means auditor, individual or firm of auditor will have to be rotated at certain intervals by certain class of companies. Okay, we will have a discussion on that topic later. Okay, so rotation of auditors will not be mandatory for small company. Then normally every company will have to undertake 4 board meetings in a financial year, in a calendar year. Okay, in a calendar year, every company will have to undertake or they have to hold 4 board meetings. But small company will have to hold only 2 board meetings in a year. Year stands for calendar year. Okay, and the annual return is abridged annual return for small company that can be signed by company secretary, and if there is no company secretary, it can be signed by the director of that small company. And the penalties for small company is comparatively less, which is compared to other class of companies. Okay, so these are the advantages and these are the provisions which is related to small company. I think the topic is clear to everyone and we can have a discussion on another topic in shorter period of time. Okay, thank you all.